What's up, everybody? Welcome to my Nope movie spoiler review. And to get straight to it, I really enjoyed it. If I had to rate it out of 5 stars, I'd give it a 3. I won't do any halves, it'll just be straight up a number. 3 out of 5 stars. It was a movie that it was exactly what I expected, obviously, when they showed the trailer, the whole alien aspect of it, but it wasn't what you thought. And what I mean by that, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's the alien, the UFO itself, which is actually a being and not a ship that has aliens inside of it that are taking people for whatever reason. It's an actual being, an actual creature that's in the shape of a UFO, and it feeds on people whenever, out in I think it's the Midwest or something like that. I forget where it's located. But, like in a farm area, and that whole community, whatever horses or whatever's around, if it sees you, it's gonna pick you up and eat you. It's a being, and I thought that was different. It wasn't what I wanted, but it was different in a positive way, because we have a lot of movies where it's like aliens come and they're attacking. You see the aliens, and sometimes the aliens, they look disappointing and whatnot. And with the film Nope, from the trailer to the posters, it was always mysterious, and it had to do something with aliens. But being Jordan Peele, so with Jordan Peele, I know his films, like most filmmakers, has meaning, his metaphors and whatnot. For me, when I go into a theater, I just go to watch the film as is. I don't really go to see what the meaning of, what meaning there might be behind the films. But going into this film, I wanted to see if I can look for it, and I really couldn't find it until I was reading other reviews, and then I got the idea of what was going on, and I thought that was pretty cool and unique. And I really enjoy Jordan Peele's films. I saw Get Out, I loved it. Us, I missed it, but I did read up on it, and it sounded, interesting and cool. And, Nope, I was like, I definitely got to go see Nope. And I enjoyed it. Again, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, because I guess I wanted to see that it was an alien invasion of something, or something like that, or maybe there would have been some other type of twist. But the fact that it was a beast, the UFO itself, I liked it, but I hated the fact that it was a UFO looking creature design. Like, I don't know, I guess that was the whole idea of the twist, and they made it that way. And it's in the ending of the film, you'll see that it can morph into this jellyfish big creature type of thing, which I would have, if that was the case, I would have preferred it throughout the film looking like that, except the ending, which it just seemed frustrated and whatnot, and it just transformed out of nowhere. It was like really unexpected. But I mean, I really enjoyed the cast. I thought the cast is great. I really like Jordan Peele, Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer is awesome, and the rest of the cast, it was great. Steven Yeun. I really, it was great to see him again. I've only seen him in the Walking Dead franchise, so to see him in a Hollywood feature film is cool. It's always great to see people that are on like television shows do bigger things, like films. Well, I guess I can say bigger things, but just to jump in a different medium, which is a film aspect, because if you're on a TV show for so many seasons, it's big, especially if it's popular. But it's just great to see that. I'm always rooting for people, and I would love to see more work of. I want to see what his next film is. Like, I love going to see a trailer and posters and like, what is this film about? And that's that feeling that I get with Jordan Peele. So he's very I like his writing. He has that mysterious, thing going about his work, and so you see it and you're like, yeah, okay, now I get to know what the heck this is about. And I really enjoyed it. Like, again, I give it 3 out of 5. I would have preferred different things, because it's a little bit slow for me, the pacing of the film. But when it picks up, and I really like the aspect that it felt like because again, it's a creature. It was like Jaws. It's compared to Jaws, this film, and I agree. It's like you're watching a Jaws film, but instead of a shark in the water, it's this alien hiding in the clouds in the sky. And as someone said, in the water, you can get out the water and you don't have to deal with a shark. But the sky is vast. There's no hiding from it unless you're going into a building or so. But even then, it can probably suck up, depending on the type of building, suck up the building, and you're screwed. And in cases it didn't do that, when they would hide. Daniel Kaluuya's character, I believe, was OJ. There was times that he would hide in a barn, and it didn't do nothing until one point. Keke Palmer's character went to hide in the barn, and it just started to suck it up and destroy the barn itself. So I'm like, why now all of a sudden? But it might have just been that it was just super pissed, and it was like, I'm gonna eat you. But one of the things as far as the metaphors, or I don't know if I'm using the term right, is that because I couldn't figure it out, so I went online. Is the idea that people are desensitized to things that are happening, and like for example, OJ's character when he sees the alien in the barn, which happens to be the kids of Stephen Ewan's character, getting back at Keke Palmer's character for stealing his fake statue horse. Instead of he sees this alien and he just looks at it, stays there, and he's like, no, nah. He's like trying to get away, but he pulls out his phone to capture it. So the idea is that people are desensitized to things around them that are happening, and instead of just like running or like I guess getting help, they just gotta pull out their phones and capture this image for like fame and wealth, to try to get wealth, which was the thing with the sister and him, who he's not really about the whole fame thing. And you kind of, and I've heard the reviewer talk about it, like he's not into the fame thing. He's you can't tame beast, and I'll get to that in a bit. And he knows about like horses, like don't stare it at the eyes because it's gonna get crazy, and it's all these things they combine within the film, from Stephen Ewan's character when he was little and a TV show to where this ape gets crazy to the present time. Like, it's the only thing I didn't like about that was just like back and forth, and it didn't really flow well with me because I couldn't figure out what was going on. I didn't know if, again, it might just be me not picking up on things and not realizing why we're seeing what we're seeing from then till now, like how it all comes together. But the idea is that people are desensitized, want to pull out their phones to things to try to get fame, get popular, get this, just capture this thing. And like for Keke Palmer and OJ's character, Daniel Kaluuya's character OJ, I forget Keke Palmer's character, they want to capture this alien because they can use it to gain fame and wealth, because the whole farm, their father died from the alien that was regurgitating metal and stuff, and the father got hit with a nickel or something like that and died. So they want to then the farm is going bankrupt or something, and they just need money, so they figure let's capture this alien. And that's the whole thing, is about trying to capture this beast that the idea is that it can eat you, it can kill you. One wrong move, things don't work out well. So that was the whole plan for them, trying to capture this beast, trying to use technology. And that's another thing, aspect of it is the whole camera's a technology, trying to utilize this to capture this beast. And the idea of what about past technology that we have that she actually uses to capture a picture that it's one of those pictures that it spits out the film or whatever, and you have to wait till it dries up or something like that, or not dries up, but maybe that's the term, but like it has to show eventually. So she uses that to capture the creature at the end when it's trying to eat this big balloon that she used to distract it. So anyways, OJ, he's not about fame, and he's not about like advanced stuff, because he has a flip phone, which I thought was kind of weird for its time, but then it makes sense for his character. Like, he doesn't care about all that. So that's the whole aspect of that film for them. Steven's character, when he was a younger kid, he was a child actor. He was in a famous show called Gordy's Home or something like that, where they have a chimp at home, and eventually the chimp in real life gets crazy, kills his castmates, eats one of the castmates' face, who ends up being alive, and he's just hiding under the table, and he sees that there's a shoe just standing up and bloody, and he's just hiding under this table with the drapes, and he's not looking at the monkey, but the monkey like settles down and tries to fist bump him, which and when you're watching the trailer you think it's an alien, and that's the whole thing I liked about the trailer. It was very misleading, misdirected rather. And he fist bumps the chimpanzee, not really like staring at it, but at one point he might have, but the chimpanzee's like, I guess, trying to show him like, I'm not gonna eat you, and then the chimpanzee gets shot. People come and shoot the chimpanzee eventually, and say rescues him. And the idea with Steven's character is that, I guess, the trauma, the way he deals with it, he laughs about it. He's collect a lot of the things that happened on set, and just memorabilia, and he has people come to pay to see it, and he utilizes that aspect to gain money and to gain some type of fame, at least within his community, because he's no longer as popular as he was when he was younger. And so I guess the idea of taming an animal to try to make it a spectacle is also a part of the film's the idea of the film, like the backstory, the story, that the metaphor, if you will, or something. I feel like it's a different term, but the idea is that he knows about the alien for months now. He uses that to as an attraction. He's been buying the horses from OJ and feeding the alien the horses. So the people will sit down and they'll watch this thing come, grab the horse and leave, and they're like, I guess that's just this business. But for some reason, if you're gonna have a business like that, why isn't it more popular? Like, why isn't there a lot of an attraction there? Why isn't it known? So I did hear the reviewer mention that, but I thought that was the first time that he was doing that. Even though he was selling dolls of aliens and stuff like that, I thought that was like the first time that he finally was like, I'm gonna show this thing happen, because he's been training it by feeding it. But things don't work out. The horse never runs off, and the aliens like, screw that. He goes to the crowd and Steven and just sucks them up to eat them. So the idea of that is that you can't tame an animal. In the beginning, like when Jordan Peele's character, I keep saying Jordan Peele, he's the director and the writer. When Daniel Kaluuya's character, OJ, is on set of a film and he's on the horse, he tells the people, like, don't stare at it in the eyes. And because, it gets crazy, it gets wild, like, it's uncomfortable. So it's these little things that if you're not paying attention, when you see the flashback with Steven Yeun's character when he was young and the monkey, like, it's telling you what's happening, what's going on, and what the idea is about, but you gotta really understand it. And I didn't catch it until I saw, the reviewers from other people, and I'm like, that makes sense. And, I try to go into the film not, getting away from real life stuff and just watching the movie as is for the story, but I have been trying to pick up more on what the meaning of the story is for the writers themselves, like what is the backstory. Because when I write, I don't really have a purpose like that with my short films, but I know that's a big thing in Hollywood that people do. And I want to be more open to that, I guess, because I've been so like against trying to figure it out that I just didn't see it for this film. And usually I'll catch little things here and there, not trying to, but for this film I tried to go in to find it out and I just couldn't. But I really enjoyed it. Like, I liked the whole thrill of it, the suspense. Again, it was a little slow, but I like the idea that it was like a Jaws type film, with this alien in the sky. But I guess I would have wanted a little bit something more, but it really didn't need to be anything more than what it was. I think it worked very well. It's just, for me personally, I think I would have preferred it to be faster and maybe more. I don't know. I guess that's more the alien aspect, the beast. I guess I would have wanted it to look different, because the whole UFO thing was a little like, where did this thing come from that it just looks like a UFO and sucks up, and then it turns into this big jellyfish creature. Like, it was just, I guess I wanted more of the backstory of the alien, which sometimes is just not a good thing to get that backstory. But other than that, like, I really enjoyed it. And I'd say if you haven't seen it and you're here watching my video of the spoilers because you don't care about spoilers, I'd say just go in for yourself, especially if you like Jordan Peele's work, if you like Daniel Kaluuya, if you like Keke Palmer, and you just like films that remind you of Jaws. If you like Jaws, like, definitely check it out. But that's my movie review. Please subscribe to my channel. If you like what you see, please leave a thumbs up. Please hit that notification button if you want more work. If you want to see more of my work, more of my movie reviews, any of my short films. If you haven't seen any of my short films, I'll never stress, go to my videos and check out all my work for my short films from the beginning of my earlier short films till now. You'll see improvement. Still needs some work going on as far as, just in general, because you can always improve, but I'll never act like my work is the best 100%, never faltered, never at fault or whatever in any ways. But I love film, and I like to do movie reviews. I like to create films. I'll never stress that enough. So please check it out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and until next time, take care of yourselves. Later.